Hello and welcome to India Post Live. You're watching India Post Live. That's India's first live news conversation web TV, and of course, the topic that we are going to talk about today is does the new government have a blind spot when it comes to zero tolerance on violence against women? Of course, we're talking about Minister of State for Chemical and Fertilizers Nihal Chand Meghwal, who who's been accused in a rape case which is about 3 years old. But what exactly has happened in that case? Let's take a look at this story.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi may claim his government has zero tolerance towards violence against women, but his actions seem to be speaking otherwise. Minister of State for Chemical and Fertilizers Nihal Chand Meghwal has been summoned by a Jaipur court to appear in a 4-year-old rape case. The only union minister from Rajasthan was named in an FIR filed in 2011 by the wife of a BJP worker. The woman has alleged that her husband had drugged her and allowed his friends, including Meghwal, to rape her. Rajasthan police had closed the case in 2012 on flimsy grounds, but investigations show that the matter was being hushed up. Even though the BJP has ruled out any possibility of Meghwal stepping down, questions are already being asked about Modi's intentions when it comes to taking tough decisions.
And joining us on this conversation, I have with me Sanjay Singh, political editor of the First Post and senior journalist, and Shehzad Poonawala, lawyer, activist, and a Congress supporter. We also have some people joining us on Google Hangout. I've got Sunita Aaron there from Lucknow. She is, of course, a senior journalist and resident editor of the Hindustan Times. And we'll also be joined by a couple of other people. But I'd like to start with you, Shehzad, first. I was going through the Twitter, Twitter today. That's a very strongly worded letter that, you posted on Twitter.
See, what has happened is ever since Mr. Modi has taken over, we are seeing the importing of the Gujarat model into Delhi. Modi, as a CM of Gujarat, had convicted ministers in his cabinet. Babu Bokhria, then you had Purushottam Solanki was indicted by Supreme Court and an FIR was registered after Supreme Court's intervention. You had Mayaben Kodnani, who was convicted of genocide. Now you have that same culture and tradition being continued. Although Mr. Modi committed that he'll give you a criminal-free parliament, he'll give you a government which has zero tolerance towards women atrocities. And here you have a case where a minister, where the state government is a BJP government, central government is a BJP government, the victim has come out and named the minister. She said that pressure is being put on her, that withdraw the case. And you have the continuation of a minister not only named in an FIR, but who has received summons from a court, which is almost like a charge being framed. So I wonder where is the 56-inch machismo of Mr. Modi when he claims that he will stand up for women's rights, when he claims that he'll give you a criminal-free parliament. I think it's all words, all talk and no substance.
Sir, this talk about, we saw the manifesto, it said zero tolerance towards violence against women. Of course, this case had closed earlier, but I mean, why is the BJP backing Mr. Meghwal?
See, the promises were made not just, I think, in manifesto, but that was also mentioned in the President's address to joint session of Parliament. I'm not really aware of the merits of Meghwal's case, but as far as I gather from various news reports that says that when he was made a minister, there was no cases pending against him. The case was closed and magistrate had accepted closure report. But subsequently, that summon has come. The practice so far, the broad practice so far in political arena had been once a particular person, a minister or an MP or whosoever that person may be, has been charge sheeted by the court, then only the party concerned steps in and asks him to resign from that particular post that he holds. In this case also, perhaps the BJP is waiting for legal procedure to take its due course and then perhaps take a decision on that particular aspect. So far as this leads to a broader question as to criminalization in politics and criminals getting into parliament. I was just seeing that the graphics that you showed me that mentions 13 ministers listed as criminals in Modi cabinet. That also includes the names that are written there. Nitin Gadkari, Uma Bharti and General V.K. Singh. I wonder if General V.K. Singh is criminal, then who else is non-criminal in this country? So I don't think this broad categorization of criminals and non-criminals hold true so far as I'm not really aware of the kind of criminal cases that are pending against Nitin Gadkari or
Yeah, we got that graphic there, so you can see these. This is from the report of the ADR, Associate for Democratic Reforms. That is, of course, I mean,
see, this part is fine. If an NGO is doing this kind of or presenting a report as a watchdog, it's fine. But this sweeping generalization, Harshvardhan, for instance,
yeah,
he has 2 cases pending, and he again is listed as somebody who could be a criminal. Harshvardhan, as far as I know him, he is one of the most recent persons in politics, and even his bitterest critique recognize that particular factor. Prakash Javadekar, for instance, again a decent person. So I don't know if.
no, sir, we're not.
But Sanjeev,
Yeah.
before Sanjay has a point, and you know what happens is that we will lose the seriousness of this case if we
Yeah,
compare a Harshvardhan or a Menka Gandhi with a Nihal Chand. Let me just give you 1-2 specifics about Nihal Chand's case, because I filed a petition with the NCW. The NCW is writing to the PMO. In Nihal Chand's case, top officials of the Rajasthan police were involved in the sex racket. Therefore, the police never cooperated with the victim, and a closure report was filed. The court went into the closure report, cancelled the closure report, and has issued summons to a sitting minister. Now, he's right that till the charge sheet is not filed usually. But you remember the days of the BJP when accusations were made, they would demand resignations of UPA ministers. And whether it was A. Raja, whether it was Pawan Bansal, whether it was Ashwini Kumar, they all resigned without their names coming in an FIR. Here you have the name in an FIR, you have state governments both held by BJP in center and state, so you have an obvious implication of a fair probe not happening. And there you also have a court issuing a summons, which is, let me tell you in legal sense, it is as good or as serious as charges being framed. So therefore, to take this issue lightly when the PM has committed his thing on women's security is not fair. But I take the larger points of Sanjay's argument on Harshvardhan and other people. Let's not compare the two.
Yeah, of course, some are politically motivated, but you know.
Perhaps.
Okay, we've also got Sunita Aaron joining us from Lucknow. Sunita, thanks so much for joining in the conversation. You of course come from a place where you know such type of cases are perhaps common. I mean, you hear of them almost every day. What is your take? I mean, do you actually see you know the BJP going tough on such cases?
Before I start with what I have to say, I somewhat disagree with Poonawalla. Hi, Poona. Because I think all political parties are unanimous when it comes to defining the word criminal. So till the guy is convicted or charge sheeted, he is not a criminal according to them, which is not the ADR definition. Now, second, coming to Nihal Chand particular case, I think right now women's security is a major issue in the country. Even if he has not been charge sheeted or convicted, the Prime Minister has ample choice of clean people. Why can't he pick up some without a blot and send a message that, okay, what I have said, I am going to adhere to that. You know, if you have a shortage of MPs or you are into a coalition rule, then A. Raja and others one can understand, though even that is not to be condoned in any way. But it has to be condemned then also. But in a sensitive case like this, he can pick up some other minister from Rajasthan if he has to give representation and not have a person with a taint. Now coming to UP, the same thing stands. You have a Muzaffarnagar tainted guy in your ministry. You had better people in Bijnor who was an RSS guy, clean. You had another person who had moved from Maharashtra to Bagpat and defeated Ajit Singh. Why have Sanjeev Balyan? What message are you trying to send to the people? When you pick up such people, you had 73 to pick up from. So why is Sanjeev Balyan from Muzaffarnagar? That's a question I think everybody would want to ask a Prime Minister who promises and who has so far been moving in the right direction except for some of his decisions.
Sanjay sir, I'd like to come to you on this point. I mean, on the one hand, you know, Narendra Modi is a person who, you know, who basically people see him as someone who takes strong decisions. But the other thing, like what Sunita was saying, that having a Sanjeev Balyan in the ministry and now backing Meghwal to some extent, I mean, doesn't it send confusing signals?
Yeah, to begin with, the kind of beginning that Modi government has made, or Modi in particular, the kind of mandate that he has got, these are not, these are initial hiccups, and I think he may or may not be aware in the case of Nehal Chand, because Nehal Chand's entry was slightly belated into the Council of Ministers, and he is the only one representing Rajasthan. I don't know what could happen when the cabinet is expanded and regional imbalances are corrected. We'll have to see whether Nehal Chand retains his position or not. Because in politics, you also see that till such time a person is actually removed from a particular post, the political party would continue defending him. Sanjeev Balyan's case is a different case altogether. And yes, he had better options, but you also, if you look at the talent pool per se, I'm not talking about a particular person or the particular person. There is a slight deficit in terms of, if you compare this with the kind of talent pool that Vajpayee had in 99 or 98. But then, of course, since BJP has 282, he has better
Also, sir,
choices.
the fact that
And in some cases, there are what quote unquote they say political compulsions. Modi, in this case, I don't know whether there was political
but
compulsions.
see, even in 2002, when there was this hue and cry after the Godhra riots that Modi should go, he stuck to his guns. So I mean, is there some sort of perhaps some sort of defiance from Modi that you can say what you want, but I'll stick to my guns? Is that sort of a mentality also perhaps playing in?
See, to an extent, perhaps yes. And also, if you see, in case of Sanjeev Balyan, perhaps nothing has come out specific as against the charges per se. I'm not really very aware as to where the cases are currently, what is the status of those cases. But yes, in some cases, once Modi takes a decision, he takes a decision and carries it on.
Yeah.
Till such time, there is actually a problem in that case. I don't know delivery of these guys. In any case, delivery of MOSs are very limited. More to send a signal across than to, perhaps he is sending a signal to his core constituency in Uttar Pradesh, maybe to RSS or maybe to Sangh Parivar. I'm not really aware of that. But yes, this does not make a good headline.
Shahzad, I mean, assuming that the charges made against Nehal Chand Megwal are true and correct, what is the legal process from now on, and what do we see ahead?
See, as far as the legal aspect is concerned, Mr. Megwal is a minister in the union cabinet, which means that he has certain amount of influence, and the state government is also his. Now, in the interest of a fair probe, especially when the victim has given an on-record statement that kin of Nehal Chand are trying to pressurize her, it is in the interest of a fair probe that he must step down until and unless his name is cleared. The moment his name is cleared, Mr. Modi may make him senior cabinet minister and invite him. That is not a problem. But if for the fair probe to happen, he needs to step down so that investigating agencies can investigate him without fear. See, investigating agencies will never investigate a sitting minister and be all open about it and take the necessary action. So hence we are demanding in the interest of a fair probe. I want to just correct Sunita. I am not in favor or not trying to defend political classes' commitment of India to kind of fight criminalization. They have a terrible track record. I am merely stating this, that there are certain benchmarks that have been set, and rightly so, by the media and civil society, that the time an accusation is made, you saw Arnab Goswami would jump every day when a name would appear in an FIR or before a name would appear in an FIR. That Arnab Goswami, I am waking him up from yesterday, that boss discussed Nehal Chand, he does not wake up. So I am just confused. I am not talking about journalists like Sunita Aran, who are very, very objective. Hindustan Times, India Post, they are doing a great job, First Post. But what about these other, custodians of justice? I want to remind Modi that don't make the mistake Kejriwal made by retaining a minister who had taint in his name. It has reduced him to 4. It will reduce you to also 4 if you do not remove it.
Okay, talking about Arvind Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party, we've got Somnath Bharti joining us on Google Hangout. Sir, we've got, I think, sir, can you hear us? Okay, I think we've lost him. We'll have him again. Sunita, you wanted to say something? Hi, Sunita, can you hear us? Hello, Sunita, can you hear us now?
What happened?
Yeah, I think there's.
Slight
We'll go to Sunita again,
communication.
but sir, coming to the point, I'd like to bring in a political angle to this story. Vasundhara Raje Scindia sends 25 MPs from Rajasthan to Lok Sabha, and Modi makes his own choice. Is there? I mean, is there some smoke?
Things in politics are not as straight as they appear to be at the outset. I don't know what happened and what transpired and what other names were there. Certainly, some few other names were there which could not be accommodated. And well, the story ends there because now Nihal Chand is a minister. And then I think was a Congress government. Yes, the point is legitimate that there is a perception in people's mind that once the government belongs to the party that you belong to. In this case, Nihal Chand's BJP's defense is when the case was closed, it was Congress government, Gehlot's government when the case was closed. And now since BJP government has come, the case has come up once again. So that process will follow. I think once the court that someone is he actually appears and something more happens, then possibly something may happen.
But the reason why the case was closed, I want to put this, is because the 18 people have been named in the FIR. One of them is a very senior official of the Rajasthan police. So you weren't expecting, even when the Congress government was there, the expectation of a fair probe was always very minimal. And I believe that there should now be a CBI probe in this matter because Rajasthan police will not be able to probe their own. And there is a state government of the BJP, a minister of the BJP involved. I think it is not going to be a clean probe. CBI probe, how efficient it will be, but it will be more efficient than this one. I am certain of that. So I think immediately they must, and Modi himself has said that there should be fast track cases within 1 year against people who are in parliament and there are cases pending. So let him do a fast track probe, let him do a 6-month probe and then bring back Nihal Chand. That's fantastic.
Okay, we've also got senior leader of AAP, Somnath Bharti, joining us on the phone line. Sir, can you hear us? Mr. Bharti?
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Bharti, thank you so much for joining in the conversation. What are your thoughts on, this whole controversy surrounding Mr. Nihal Chand Meghwal?
This is a very serious matter. Involves BJP's outlook towards women. Mr. Modi, that what all he talks about women safety and women dignity. Is he to be serious about it, demonstrated by asking Mr. Nihal Chand to engage fire.
Okay, I think we seem to be having some audio issues with Mr. Bharti's phone line. I think let's. I think we'll go to Sunita. Sunita, can you hear us?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I mean, like we were discussing that Vasundhara Raje Scindia.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm saying
Can you hear me?
is there also a political conspiracy behind this whole thing? I mean, perhaps Vasundhara Raje also has a score to settle with Nihal Chand Meghwal.
Look, I don't want to go into it when the investigations are on and the matter is already in the court. Point is, Mr. Modi has to think what is more important for him, Mr. Nihal Chand or his own government's image. These things should be very clear, especially when you get such a mandate and on a promise that you have made. And you have the international community watching you when women's security issues are there. You had UN slamming UP government only because of certain cases that are happening here. So I think you send a message also to the international audience that about your commitment to certain issues. And if women's security is a major issue today, then I think he should think about himself, his government image, and less about Nihal Chand. I don't think so he can be more important than the party and the government. Exactly. There's no reason why should any individual be more important than the issue and the government and the Prime Minister himself.
Okay, that's an important point. Sanjay sir, I mean, for someone who's covered the BJP for so long, do you think that, Narendra Modi there should be some course correction, because I mean, right from General Singh's tweets to the Goa controversy to this, there's a lot of media hype that perhaps there should be some course correction.
See, course correction in the sense, if you are talking on two aspects, a minister talking out of turn, that you perhaps mentioned about VK Singh tweet. These days, no minister is talking as such. So that's a different thing altogether. VK Singh may have tweeted, and subsequently few things have happened.
Yeah,
no
I think
minister,
they've patched
no
it.
minister is actually talking even about his ministry. And no interviews are coming, barring one or two interviews, which I don't know whether some clearance was sought or something. But then coming to the larger point about the message that Sunita was talking to international community, I don't think international community is really concerned about Nihal Chand's case. They want to be, they are more concerned about the investment climate, about the security scenario that and India's overall growth in South Asia. So that is other point about news making and about whether such issues are right or wrong, or should he have been there or not, we have already discussed. But yes, the kind of beginning that Modi has made, these issues make kind of headlines that Modi would not really have liked. But then if you, I don't know how the BJP is really going to tackle this particular problem. Till such time, I think one should wait till such time the cabinet expansion takes place. There could be a chance where he could well be dropped and somebody else could be taken.
I want to just come in here. Actually, ironically, while major websites and news agencies like IBN and Times Now haven't even given this issue half an hour debate. Organizations, the foreign publications have called me after I filed my petitions with PMO and NCW to ask me what this matter was. The United States of America, and I don't care much for them, but the United Nations took cognizance of the Badaयूं rape case. Mr. Modi, who tweets about Football World Cup, has not said a word about Badaयूं. And after that, look at it from the international perspective, he continues with a minister who has been booked for rape and sexual assault. How does that message go in the international community, which is already shocked about the Badaयूं rapes? So I think it is sending a very bad international message, and I would have been very happy had organizations said that let us wait for Manmohan Singh's cabinet expansion, then remove Raja. Did you say this when Raja was being accused? Did you say this when Ashwini Kumar and Pawan Bansal were being accused? You said immediately overnight you resigned, and today you're saying let cabinet expansion happen?
I think Sunita wants to make a point.
Okay. No, Badaयूं, I think he's wrong there, because it was the PMO who took cognizance of the Badaयूं hanging. And it was only after PMO reacted to it and spoke about it that the entire machinery got busy. So much so that the Union Home Minister did not even check the background, the caste background of the victims, and said they were Dalits. And Ram Vilas Paswan and Meera Kumar, everybody rushed there thinking they were Dalits while they were backwards. So demanding action under SC/ST Act. So PMO did react to it, and I don't think Prime Minister himself has comment on every incident that happens in the country. But on this particular minister, because it is his prerogative whom to keep, whom not to keep, the PMO should come out clean on it. Swetsko continues to remain a minister, but these are the reasons. The country needs to know that. Arnab Goswami, the nation wants to know.
Okay, I think we've got Mr. Somnath Bharti finally on Hangout. I hope he can hear us. Mr. Bharti, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Sir, finally we seem to have got you. What are your comments on this whole Nihal Chand Meghwal case, sir?
That's what I was saying. It's a very serious matter, and this is time for Mr. Modi to reflect on it and demonstrate it to the world that he really cared about Indian women's security. If you recall, case when Congress was busy, and we must not, it's a very, very serious and sensitive matter. Congress and BJP were out asking for my resignation, even though there was no name in the FIR, there was no name of, no detailing of the incident, and I had no involvement in the FIR, and I had no control on the police investigating the matter. I had no control on the judiciary investigating the trial. But still, BP and Congress, and they were all out doing all dramas, you know. And today the world is aware of what all happened in Khidki, and Khidki demonstrated in the election, all for Congress in this election. This police is directly under the control of the Rajasthan government. BP is in power. Central is in the center. BJP is in power. Everywhere BJP is in power.
But
Unless Mr. Nihal Chand resigns and faces the trial, and after Mr. Modi's promise that within a year the trial should get over wherever a minister is in, I think it's for him to do.
But sir, don't you think that the point our panelists were trying to make is that till a charge sheet is filed, he can still stay on as a minister because,
I can't make out what he's saying. No.
Yeah, Mr. Bharti, can you hear us?
Now I can.
Yeah, the point that we're trying to make is that can he still hang on there till a charge sheet is filed against him?
No. The question is, I was a law minister of Delhi, and I was aware that what sort of investigation, the police investigation in samples. No investigation in this country can take place in a manner in which they should really take place in this time of existence. The police trial cannot, the police investigation cannot remain unbiased unless this man goes. And Rajasthan government is in charge of police. The Rajasthan government being in charge of police, they will surely influence. And let me tell you, the investigations in this country of police is absolutely third grade, third rated. They need to do whatever this sort of investigation. We need much better investigations. We need no interference from any sort of political establishment, and this cannot happen unless Mr. Nihal Chand resigns and is not in the post of power.
Okay, Mr. Bharti, we've got Shehzad Poonawala here. He'd like to ask you a question.
No, I don't want to ask Mr. Bharti any question for a moment. I thought he was going for another raid. But all I'm saying is that I agree with Mr. Bharti on this case. We tend to not agree on most issues. But I agree with him that the minister can influence the probe. Therefore, he must go. And where is the eloquence of Sushma Swaraj, who used to say that we have to protect the women of this country? Where is the principles of Arun Jaitley?
Let me educate Mr. Poonawala. Let me educate Mr. Poonawala because he's in the mood of politicizing everything. He has no concern about women dignity, women security. Congress has never been. No party has ever.
No, sir, we are taking lessons from you after your raid.
Poonawala is out to score a political point in this scene. Okay. He doesn't. He had no clue. Okay. Delhi police was under Congress government. In my tenure, I had no role at all. He has no knowledge about the incident about Khidki. He was clueless about things.
Okay.
These people have only one mission: to politicize situations. They have never ever cared about women's security in this country. Congress is mostly responsible for incidents in this country. BJP is in power. BJP is no less responsible. Today, situation is Rajasthan is under BJP. Center is under BJP, police is under BJP, CBI is under BJP, and Modi ji has been talking about women's security. When will he demonstrate? Question is, if you recall, the incident of 2002, Mr. Modi stuck to his position. Till date, he has no remorse about it. The murder which took place in 2000 in Gujarat, he has never said sorry. The man in Modi ji is not in a mood to take a backseat at all. Come what may, Congress may keep shouting. Modi ji will not at all, and God has given him a 282 seat, which is much more than what he wanted to remain in position in center. So today, nothing will deter BJP or Modi ji. Nobody can force Mr. Nihal Chand to go. We can keep shouting. They are absolutely deaf.
Yeah, I think Sunita wants to make a point. I think we'll bring her in.
Just a line before I leave. If the entire system is under BJP, then even an MP is very powerful. Here the issue is not whether he can well, maybe it is to some extent the issue is that he can influence the probe, but even as MP, he can do it if the system is supportive to him. The issue is of ethics. I think the issue is of issue. It is not only that how much he can influence, even an MP with a supportive system can influence probes. So I think we are debating a little bit. It's an issue of ethics, and where anybody who's facing a probe should not hold a position of power. I think that is more important than how much he can influence. Even XYZ can influence probes.
Sunitaji, I can tell you that. As a minister, you are a different person. As an MLA, you are a different person. You have
Somnath is taking everything personally.
other power within your reach. Except Delhi, every other state, they do have complete control over police. Problem is there.
Okay.
And let me tell you, as a law minister, I had access to those files. I could see a pathetic investigation by police everywhere. The investigations are more to do to let the criminals go, the powerful people to go. The poor end up in jail. That's the whole problem.
Yes, that is it.
This requires a big reform. And women dignity and women security are not only to do the lip service. They must demonstrate.
In fact, PM should convene an all-party meeting to discuss women issue. There should not be any
Sir,
politics.
I think I deserve my turn because in a court of law, Somnath would have been chastised by the judge for speaking out of turn. But be that as it may, let me make my points without being interrupted. I agree with Sunita ji. The issue is about perception. It was the same Arun Jaitley who used to stand up in Rajya Sabha and say Caesar's wife should be above questions. Caesar's wife should be clean. So now we are asking what has happened to Caesar's wife. So that's all we are saying, and it's not that Modi does not have the mandate. For the interest of a fair probe, for the interest of perception, and as much as Sunita ji may say, I think international reputation is also at stake, that you have a rapist minister in your cabinet while Badaयूं is happening and there is a rape every 20 minutes in this country. I think for the interest of that 56-inch machismo, Modi should walk the talk and he should sack this minister, bring him back when he is clear.
Okay, I'd like to bring in Sanjay. Sir, how important it is that an impartial probe happens into this?
No, this thing is always very important, that probe always has to be fair, impartial, and seen to be also impartial, besides being impartial. There was also a case, if you draw a parallel to Deputy Chairman Rajya Sabha,
PJ Kuren.
almost a similar case, and in that case also the BJP and the Congress ultimately took a position that he should continue to remain in that position. Also broadly similar, though not really very similar. This, of course, as Sunita was saying, is a matter of more a matter of ethics and political correctness than of legality. If that is the case, then yes, people, Nihal Chand should go. There cannot be any other case. And the broad practice, as I said, that till the time charge sheet is charge sheet is filed. Once a charge sheet is filed, Somnath Bharti and Sajad would understand the legal point better. But as I understand from a layman's perspective, that once that process is completed, which means that court has prima facie taken cognizance of the situation and has gone ahead with the charges that have been framed. Once charges are framed against a particular person, then obviously that person, and there have been numerous examples. In case of A. Raja and others, that those situations were slightly of different proportion and different nature than I think Nihal Chand. Nihal Chand in any case is an MOS. That does not in any case, I am not saying minimizes the kind of offence that he has been charged to.
He's a political lightweight, you mean?
He is a political lightweight. He can be.
Parameters have to be same, no?
Okay.
But it may never reach the charge sheet stage because of the influence. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It may actually
But
not.
See,
the court has already rejected a closure report.
you have seen so much. You have talked about Gujarat. You have seen in Gujarat, top officials have been booked for cases of fair encounter. So if a senior officer is named, just because a senior officer's name is also there, no fair and impartial probe is possible.
But sir, Gujarat convicted ministers have also continued. So where is the fairness?
That's a different
Only a
thing.
CBI probe will be perhaps.
I
put an end to
completely
it,
agree
sir.
with that.
We take final comments. Yes, Mr. Bharti. Yeah.
Well, see, the problem today is that when the CBI is under BJP control, CBI is no pure today. I think there has to be an SIT monitored by a
Court.
retired Supreme Court judge, 2 months days. And Mr. Modi is, sort of, he has to show to the world that how, how certain he is about, how pure his intentions are about women's security. So today, CBI being under BJP control, police being, Rajasthan police being under BJP control, I do not trust that even an investigation by CBI will do justice to it.
Okay.
And, so there has to be a separate SIT monitored by a retired Supreme Court judge to
Will
see
they go on a dharna?
that justice does prevail. Otherwise, this will just be an eyewash.
Sir, will you go on a dharna for it?
This will just be an eyewash. What I'm saying, CBI or state police will do nothing. Justice cannot be done by CBI or state police in this.
Mr. Bharti, your final comments. If the government does not constitute an SIT, where do you see this case heading?
See, gentlemen, today what I see, the government is in a position. There is no opposition thanks to Congress inaction. Congress has reduced to what sort of party. Today we have no opposition. It is a matter of shame that Congress has not even given opposition leader in the parliament. This is stupid. What are we doing? Today we have given one person absolute control of the whole situation. He can do whatever he will want. He will do whatever he will desire. So we are absolutely at the mercy of Mr. Modi. That please God, do some justice to that woman.
See,
I don't think CBI or police can do anything, any justice to the woman unless some miracle happens.
It's ironic
Mr.
that a party that loses 99% of its candidates lose their deposits is telling a party which got 10 crore votes, 20% of vote share, about being in opposition. Anyways, we will do our job. I can assure Mr. Bharti that we also want a Supreme Court investigated, monitored investigation.
Okay. 125 years old party is comparing with.
Let's not.
Somnathji, let's not make it about us.
Let's not digress from the topic.
Let's keep it about you.
The country is shown in the mirror.
Sure.
Yes. Can we have Sunita back, please?
Just 2 things. I think BJP has an internal review system. I think quickly they should find out the facts and take a call on it. That will save the government from a dilemma. Second, supposing Nihal Chand is, why he should be removed? Supposing he's innocent. But if he's holding the chair and gets the clean slate, nobody will be believed. So it is in his interest that, and also in the government's interest, that he vacates the chair for some time, and if he's not guilty, come back with vengeance. But I think as of now, as far as inquiry is going on, it's time he should say, okay, I'm ready to face inquiry and come back once he gets a clean check.
Okay. So there we have it. Thanks so much. Thanks so much, Sunita. And I think Mr. Bharti wants to make one final point. Yes, Mr. Bharti.
What I'm saying, even the media, even the newspapers, even the people, the women organizations, they've all gone, they've disappeared. Such an important incident.
Sir, you never appeared before Delhi Women's Commission, but it's good you're claiming about them.
An incident which was to bring out the case of prostitution and drug trafficking in Khirki area, they were all out attacking for no reason. And here is the case.
You do know you've been indicted by NHRC, right?
Okay. The media is not at all in the mood to question Mr.
That
Modi.
I agree with.
The newspapers are not in the mood to question Mr. Modi.
But we saw that. But Mr. Bharti, we saw that in the case of Goa ministers going to Brazil. We saw the media take on the Goa chief minister. So
there's a larger story to why that happened.
I don't think so. It's correct. Media does its job. I don't think so. It's right to say that media is not media.
Sunita ji, media turns out like this. Rahul Kanwal has been questioning that should this happen? Should that happen? And in the time to come, everybody is going to be seeing the truer face of the people responsible for whatever they've done in the past.
Okay, on that note, thanks so much, Mr. Bharti and Sunita.
Note to end.
Okay. On that note, thanks so much, Sunita and Mr. Bharti, for joining in the conversation. We hope to have you on more conversations.
How are you?
And Shehzad and Sanjay sir, thanks so much for joining in. So there you have it. There seems to be a sort of consensus that because of the absolute majority that the Modi government enjoys, and even in the state of Rajasthan, that perhaps it's best if Mr. Nihal Chand Meghwal can step down till the time this whole investigation is complete, and then come back to being a minister if his name is cleared. So on that note, you can also send us your comments at indiapostlive.com, and or our Twitter handle is @IndiaPostLive. You can also send us your feedback and comments on that. More conversations will continue on India Post Live. Thank you for watching.